Greetings, gamers. Semper Games to you and yours. I have a very special treat for you today. After months of asking, I've finally allowed Shigeru Miyamoto to appear on my show. It's great to have you here, Mr. Miyamoto.
Please, Jasper. We've been close for a very long time. Call me Shiggy.
Sounds good, Shiggy. I'm glad you could make it.
Me too, gamesmasterjasper. I've been wanting to be a guest on your show for a while now. Have you seen your ratings in Japan?
Well, that doesn't matter so much.
You're the #2 show during primetime television viewing. That's quite an accomplishment for a gaijin.
Thanks, Shiggy. I appreciate that. Well, I may be big in Japan, but you're big all around the world thanks to the new Zelda game. Why don't you tell me a little about it?
Well, Zelda is an interesting character to me. You never know what Zelda will do next. Will he use the boomerang or a bomb, or another gadget? That to me is what Zelda is about. This one is quite a journey though. It introduces new gadgets for Zelda to use, including new elf arrows.
The first Zelda game was a huge departure from any previous Nintendo games. Why don't you tell me about it?
Zelda is one of my favourite creations because he is like me in many respects. The Triforce is a metaphor, and so is the Master Sword. Zelda utilises these weapons to defeat incredible foes, but he's also very brave. I like to think of myself as brave, but I wouldn't touch a bomb like Zelda. Zelda's one shortcoming is not his lack of courage though, but that he is ill.
I always wondered why he was so pale.
He has a very serious heart disease. It's not like the ones from planet Earth because it is magical. It affects his quest in many different ways, so in certain ways it is a blessing and a curse. But the clock is always ticking for Zelda. That's why he has to hurry in most of the games. He never knows how long he has left. He was hit in the heart by a boomerang, and that's why he has a heart disease.
Well, knowing Zelda, he'll walk it off.
I hope so, gamesmasterjasper.
So, Shiggy, can you give me a little bit of an idea of what you're currently working on?
Well, I shouldn't, but, well, okay. I think it's alright to tell you, Jasper. I'm currently working on a Mario real-time strategy game similar to Warcraft or Ages of Empires. It's a lot like Super Mario RPG in many regards, particularly because of its focus on story.
Wow, sounds exciting, Shiggy. Can you tell me a little bit more about it?
Well, there are 3 races. The first race is the Mushroomites. They're the inhabitants of the Mushroom Kingdom. Expect units like Toad and Stars. Then there are the Italians, that's what Mario and Luigi are. Last but not least, there are Koopas. Well, of course, that means King Koopa and the Goombas. I have some great ideas for each race. I don't want each of them to be the same, like in a lot of other real-time strategies. For instance, the Koopas have very high armour, because as you know, they have shells like a turtle, and the Italians have very low resistance to pasta-based attacks.
Mamma mia! Sounds like you've got your work cut out for you, Shiggy. Well, as every gamer knows, you are the infamous creator of the Mario series. Can you tell me a little about that? Where did you get your inspiration?
Well, yeah, I did create Mario, but a lot of people don't know that Mario is based on my life experiences.
What do you mean, Shiggy?
As a child, I was very fascinated with pipes. Not small pipes like the ones you'd see under a sink, I mean very large pipes, like you'd find in sewers. When I was a 6-year-old, I ran away from home and lived in a pipe. It was a very difficult but formative time for me. There was very little food, but I did eat a lot of moss and bones. I would spend all day exploring pipes and trying to find new types of pipes. One day I stumbled on an Italian napping in the sewers, so I decided to talk to him. He told me he had a very serious brain tumour and tried to grab me, but he was very weak because he was starving. I think he might have been demented. I tried to help him, but he kept trying to scratch me. Luigi is based off of him. I didn't think up Mario until much later.
That's an incredible story, Shiggy. Thank you for sharing it.
Well, that's just one of the many stories of my life.
What features do you think we'll see in the next big Mario game?
There are a couple of things we've been working on that I'm very excited about. We're working on a damage system that checks on what part of Mario's body he's been hit. As the damage to each of Mario's body parts worsens, so does his ability to use that part. If he gets hit too many times, he'll become disabled. I'd also like to start seeing Mario use knives. They don't need to be a big part of the game, I just think it would be useful for Mario to have a knife sometimes. Finally, I'd like to see what happens when Mario and Shrek team up. I don't think we'll be seeing this game for a while, it's just an idea in the works, but I think it could be very good if it's done right.
Wow, it sounds like you've got some great Mario innovations you're working on. But what about the coins? Will they still be there?
Absolutely. It just wouldn't be a Mario game without coins.
Mamma mia.
Well, that's a wrap, GMJ. I've got to get going now, but before I go, I'd just like to tell you, Semper Gamesu.
Semper Games, Shiggy. And there you have it. That was my interview with Shiggy Miyamoto. It was an exciting day for me, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Shiggy told me he'd be more than happy to join us again for another interview, so hopefully it will be soon. I know he's a very busy man. Well, that's all for today, gamers. I'd like to remind you all to game safely. If you get dizzy while gaming, just give it a break for a little while. Semper Games.